keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only go.
What's going on, guys? Jake came back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another draft profile. I'm going to be looking at guard, first round talent, Tyler Booker. But before we get into it, please make sure to like the video, comment down below anything you agreed or disagree with that I talk about in here so we can have a discussion down below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for future NFL content that I'm going to be putting out, whether it's NFL draft, free agency, and the combine's coming up, and all that good stuff. Please make sure to subscribe for the videos I'm going to be putting out. So with this, we're going to be looking at Tyler Booker. I know most of these offensive linemen in this class, especially the tackles, are looked at as tackles or guards. Tyler Booker is a straight guard. He played guard for 3 years at Alabama. That's always going to play in the next level, unless he ends up switching in the center. But he's mainly just a guard. He really doesn't have any tackle flexibility. He's seen as a mid first round pick right now, and after watching this tape, it's kind of somebody that I've honestly fallen in love with. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So Tyler Booker. A little bit about him. He was an All-American in 2024, first team, so he was seen as one of the best guards in the nation at the left guard spot, so he beat out pretty much everybody else with his play. And then for the All-SEC teams, he actually was first team All-SEC in 23 and 24. This is a guy that has started for 3 years at Alabama as a freshman, and in those 3 years, 2 to 3, he was first team All-SEC. And the SEC is one of the hardest conferences in college football. So for him to be consistent for the last 3 years, and especially for anybody, especially an offensive lineman, to come in and start as a freshman for 3 years at Alabama, that usually leads to first round picks, especially somebody like Jedrick Wills. That was a couple of years ago in 2020, who started for 3 years and then ended up being the number 10 overall pick. So it's kind of the same thing with Tyler Booker, especially in a weak kind of interior class, or I wouldn't say weak, I guess a weird interior class and offensive line class where a lot of the tackles are kind of seen as guards, but can they play tackle or guard? To be a guy that's just pretty much a straight offensive lineman and offensive guard on the interior that's going to stay there and has experience there. You can definitely see his experience with playing his angles and different things like that, how he just plays the game different than all the other guys in this class at offensive line. And we're going to get into that more in a minute. But some of his strengths and weaknesses that I kind of found throughout the study that I had on his film between the multiple games I watched, with him playing against LSU, with him playing against Georgia, couple of those other guys, and some other teams. So his strengths, he plays very aggressive. Some of the offensive linemen in this class that I've really seen and watched that I've done breakdowns on. So if you haven't seen those, please go ahead and go watch those. But compared to these other guys, he plays really aggressive. A lot of the other guys are more finesse type guys. They're not really as aggressive. They're more the outside zone scheme, type guys that need to be finesse and just kind of get to the point of attack. Tyler Booker's different. He plays with an aggressive style. He's trying to move you off the ball. He's playing aggressive, firing off. He's getting those hips, and he's looking to put you in the dirt every play. The only other guy that in this class that kind of plays like that is Kelvin Banks, and he doesn't play like that to the degree as Tyler Booker. And he's able to kind of turn it on and turn off. He does it in the right situations. He's obviously trying to put you in the dirt, but he's not aggressive enough or loses his mind to where he does anything stupid on the field that costs you any extra plays. And that's really what you're looking for in an offensive lineman. Somebody that has a aggressive mindset that wants to put someone in the dirt every play between the whistles and doesn't do anything stupid after the play. Secondly, he probably has the best climbing ability in this draft. And what I mean by that, all the offensive linemen I've watched, he does the best job of climbing to the second level, which are like the linebackers or whoever's lined up. Maybe it's a safety down in the box. But including with his double teams, or if he's just going right now to the linebacker at the second level, he has the best second level climb and best mindset of how to climb to the second level out of anybody in this class that I've watched so far out of all the offensive linemen. He really plays his angles and he knows where he needs to be able to get that seal and that block on that second level defender to create a gap or at least a cutback lane for that running back. you can really tell that he knows where to be able to beat it, and he knows that these linebackers are going to be faster than him. So he has to be able to be smart about it and get to where he needs to be and play the angle of them and beat them to the point, not just run straight out and be able to be beat. That was one of my complaints with a lot of these other guys in this class. None of them really played their angles. Kelvin Banks, like I said, he was one of my favorites, but even he didn't do it to this extent. Tyler Booker does it the best. Armand Membu didn't really ever climb. He was just mostly sealing the edge. Will Campbell didn't really climb too much, and when he did, he got beat a lot on. He didn't play his angles right. So Tyler Booker really impressed me at that, being able to climb to the second level area. Thirdly, he gets a lot of movement pressure. This goes with his aggressiveness. If you play aggressive and you're looking to put your guy in the dirt and just pancake him every single play, then you're going to get more of this. He fires off the ball very well. You can see he has a really good wide base in his run game, and he's able to keep them in close and bring his hips with it. You can see his feet are constantly moving, and this is usually what happens is a lot of guys end up blocking up, and the guy's usually bigger than them, and they never move their feet. So then it's just a stalemate. Tyler Booker gets a whole lot of movement, especially in the LSU game. In the Georgia game, he didn't get as much, but he's going against other first round talent guys like Jalen Walker and Michael Williams and people like that. But against LSU, you could really see it since LSU's defense was not that good. He was bullying guys. He was moving them 5, 10 yards off the ball. He was creating gaps, and one of them I have a play for that we're gonna break down here in a little bit. But if whenever you see him fire off the ball, he is moving someone. He is getting there and he is driving you 3 to 4 yards off the ball. Now, I would like him to be a little bit more consistent with that, but he does it a lot of the times. And then lastly, a lot of these guys in this class that have very good pass sets, he's able to see the blitzes and identify them very well. And he has a great balanced pass set where he's not overextended, he's not leaning forward, so he doesn't get swimmed a lot. He has his chest back. He doesn't really overset anyone. He has a really nice solid set. I am mostly impressed with his run game, but to go with his run game, he also does have a very good pass set to go along with it, and he's one of the most complete players. He's one of oftentimes we use, high floor, low ceiling type guys, but he's the definition of that. That he may not be, like he may not develop in being the most crazy offensive lineman or like a Zach Martin or anything like that, but he is the most surefire, high ceiling type of guy that he may not end up being like a first ballot Hall of Famer as 10 All Pros, but he is going to be a very good starter in this league, and he is one of my favorites in this class so far since I watched him, and I really didn't think I'd like him this much, but he is probably he's definitely my second favorite offensive lineman in this class, and I'm debating on if he's my number one. That's how good he is. And then his weaknesses, he doesn't really work well in space. A lot of times, Alabama tried to run a lot of jet sweeps or just sweeps with Jalen Milroe, and a lot of times they were having him pull to the outside to kind of lead up. He is kind of slow with pulling, so that's one of the bad things about him is that when he does pull, he is kind of slow getting out there on those guys, so it leads to him kind of missing a lot of times whenever he's trying to get to the outside linebacker or whoever he's trying to go block out there. So it leads to the runner, whether it's Milroe or whoever where it was really beating him to the point. So then he wasn't really getting a good block on his pulls to the outside. So he doesn't really work well in space outside of the box. Like once you try to pull him out in space to the outside linebacker or the corner or the safety, he doesn't really work well out there. But he does a great job in the box. So that's kind of what with the second point with him being bad at pulling and working outside. He struggles whenever he has to go block someone outside of the box, which the box, if you don't know, is in between the two tackles. So that area, that pretty much that front seven with the four down linemen and the 2 or 3 linebackers that they have, he excels in that area. But whenever he has to go outside of the box, whether it's him pulling to the outside on run plays or just him trying to be able to reach all the way outside, he does kind of struggle a little bit with that, and he's not very much the best. So some other people like Armand Membu excels at that. He excels at working outside the box, reaching guys to the point of attack. Tyler Booker is not very much that. He's more of that power run guy that's straight downfield and that's gonna move some people. And then lastly, he kind of plays lazy at some points and gives up on the play. You kind of do want to see certain guys fight to the whistle, but at certain points, he kind of holds his blocks for a second, and then other times, he kind of just like lets go and lets the play go. Okay, gives up on it. You would like to see, no matter what, a guy going full motor every single play and looking to put somebody in the dirt. He does it a lot, but also whenever he does it, sometimes he ends up playing lazy to those points as well. So whenever he ends up pancaking someone straight up, there's also some of those times where he kind of just hits them, sees that the play's not going anywhere, and then he kind of just gives up and lets go, and he's kind of lazy at that point. So that's something he could definitely work on and be more consistent of. If he goes to the right situation, the right coach, they can really get that out of him to be more consistent and, just stay every play until you hear the whistle instead of just giving up on it and kind of going into business for yourself if you don't see the play working out. So jumping into some clips here. So these are going to be some clips. Now he's in here at left guard. He's number 52 here. This is going to be kind of a trick play by Alabama. And Jalen Milroe's acting like he's coming over here, and then he's going to clap, and they're going to direct pass, snap it to the running back. So you can see here he's inside here, but look at him and his ability here that he's able to do. His fire off the ball, and he's able to get that guy turned. Now it's only a 4 or 5 yard gain. But you can see here, he's identified where he needs to go. This is Jalen Walker, a guy that's supposed to be, around the top 10 pick, and he's able to pretty much seal him off where he needs to go. So these guys are going to work inside on these two guys. Milroe's going to take the end. This is going to be a combo by the center and guard that's going to end up taking the nose tackle to this linebacker that's walked up. And the right tackle is just going to kick out this end. Tyler Booker right here, number 52. He knows that he has Jalen Walker right here at this linebacker spot. And he knows that the ball's either going to go this A gap or the B based on where he takes them. And he's going to work to try to seal him or get him movement out. And he's going to create this gap here and allow this running back to hit it in here for a solid 4 yards. So when he fires off, he's getting in on Jalen Walker right now, takes a great angle, gets that movement, gets his butt turned, and creates that angle right there. That's the stuff that you like to see out of guards that you really haven't seen from a lot of the guys in this class. That's the type of stuff that you really don't see. His fire off the ball is way better than most of the guys in this class. A lot of the guys do not fire. Armand Membu fires off the ball, but he gets more right to left. Tyler Booker's getting there right now and taking that angle where he needs to be and being able to get his hands on Jalen Walker and creating this alley. So as soon as 74 works for the seal with 80 coming across, Tyler Booker 52 is going to be able to get his hands on him and seal him straight to the right and turn his butt to create that alley for this running back. So let's look at this point right here that's coming up as he ends up going. And right there, 72 ends up getting the reach. 80's going up for the safety while the end's trying to be baited out by the quarterback. The end does do a great job. Tyler Booker is able to get Jalen Walker off balance and use his explosion of his hips to pretty much get him out of this gap here. And then he creates that lane and he gets a good 4 yard rush. And then that he's fighting to the whistle right there, trying to get that pancake. So this is another one. This is his pass set ability. So not only is he amazing in the run game, but he's also amazing in the pass game with the see the blitzes here. So as you can see, he's going right here. He sees this guy, the tackle sees this guy drop. He sees this guy bouncing to the outside trying to edge rush here. So once he sees that, you got to know somebody's going to come and replace your gap. So you got to stay home. He's responsible for this B gap right here. And then he sees this linebacker trying to shoot down delayed and he's able to pick it up. So here he's going to he sees this guy go outside and he's coming back inside to protect for this linebacker. So he's able to see that, get the protection, and that's really a sneaky part of his game is his pass block that not a lot of people are talking about. It's mostly his run game stats, but him being able to identify the pass like everybody else is with the different stunts like Kelvin Banks has, with Will Campbell has, and Armand Membu. With him seeing this guy go way outside and seeing someone having to come and replace his gap, he also does a great job of being able to pick that up on the inside gap. So to see it one more time, he cuts outside. Okay, I know someone's coming straight back, and he's able to pick it up and protect Milroe. This offense line did a great job and gave Milroe a tons of time in this game. Here's another one of his run ability and climbing up to that second level. Now, I know you see it and you see this run doesn't go anywhere, and you're like, well, this is trash. And, the run didn't go anywhere, so everybody did pretty much a bad job. But they're going to have a combo here. Milroe's going to read. Now, what Georgia does to counter, they put two guys spawn. So he's going to end up taking the running back. All right, and then this guy's gonna end up on the quarterback, so then they have it pretty much shut down. But Tyler Booker's in here on this combo with this tight end, and he's gonna climb up to this linebacker right here and get great hands on him. And he's able to climb up right there. You maybe he needs to stay a little bit longer on that down block, but the tackle ends up getting the reach, and he helps him out a lot. And then he squares back up and gets his hands on this linebacker right here. Look at that. That's a great duck walk position. His butt's down, his chest's up, his hands are on his inside. He's controlling them, and he has them off balance. And he's able to pretty much do whatever he wants to at this point. And he's able to pretty much just let him go because the play's dead in the backfield. But if that play was able to break, he has that second level, and that's a touchdown right there if that's able to break past that first level defenders. So here's another ability of his pass set. He pretty much it's similar to what George has been doing here. So he's responsible for this guy right here in this gap. Although Georgia is sending six people, Milrow knows that he has to get it out hot because you pretty much just replace it in the defense when they bring someone. So Georgia's bringing six guys. Alabama's only blocking five. Milrow does a good job and he gets it out right here in the zone for and replacing the linebacker. Tyler Booker does a great job here with this bigger guy. He ends up having a bigger interior guy on him, like a defensive tackle. And he's able to pretty much anchor down and get underneath him and pretty much stonewall him by getting underneath him too much and not allowing him to. So he gets a good set there, gets his hands on him, and he's able to just pretty much stop the rush right there. And Milrow does a good job of getting out. He needed to put it right here, right after this blitz. Milrow goes to the second option, but that's another quarterback thing. But Tyler Booker here, he ends up getting his hands on who he needs to, and he's able to block that guy. Now, the center should probably stay for one of these other guys because there's no reason we should have two guys empty on a six-man blitz, but he's able to pretty much get his hands on that guy, stonewall him, and pretty much stand him up. Now we're moving on to the LSU game. In the Alabama Georgia game, Alabama jumped out to an early lead. They also did the same thing here after they've already had two losses. So this is later in the season. This is about 6 weeks later, and you can still see the consistent play. And I didn't put all the clips in this game from LSU, but Tyler Booker had an amazing game against LSU. He eats in this game. He's destroying guys. So you can see here him at left guard and he's able to get that movement on that guy and creates this touchdown rush. This is what gets people excited when you're watching film. This is amazing play by him. All right. So him and this tackle here are gonna combo up to this play side linebacker. All right. He's pretty much just gonna be able to seal off this end. These two are climbing up to that linebacker who ends up stunning and taking himself out of the play completely. So this leads to the solo going up to the or this duo pretty much just going up to this linebacker. And so what's gonna happen? Tyler Booker's gonna give him a hit and climb right up here to this linebacker and get him sealed off. The tackle's gonna end up reaching him, and this creates this huge gap. Once you see Tyler Booker play his angle here and get up to this linebacker, Jalen Milrow almost goes untouched. Tackle gets off, and then Tyler Booker stays on his guard, and he's able to seal this lane. Milrow sees the cutback. Now, if he was able to seal him off here, Milrow would have stayed with it right here, but. He fights back inside, so he's just going to turn his butt and take him where he wants to go. And then he's going to create that cutback lane for Milrow to pretty much go untouched and score pretty much a 60-yard touchdown at this point, or a 40-yard touchdown. And with him pretty much being able to combo that with the linebacker taking himself out of the play on that blitzing linebacker, and Booker pretty much able to stay with his block and turn his butt and drive that guy 4 yards off the ball like he did. He drives that guy a good 4 yards off, and he's low. He gets underneath them. He stays with them. He has them under control. That's what you want to see in the run game, and that's really what gets me excited with him doing this against this SEC talent. I know LSU is not the best defensive team, but with him able to do that, that's a crazy block right there. To be able to drive that guy straight off the ball, that's just bully ball. You line up and my five against your five, or my six against your six in the box, and I'm just gonna bully you and drive you 4 to 5 yards off the ball, and we're gonna go score a touchdown on a 40-yard rush. That's exactly what happens here with that tackle climbing, and then Booker's able to pretty much bully that guy straight into the ground. Look how he has underneath him. He gets underneath him here with that hit, and has straight under his control with his pads, and he's controlled his chest, and he doesn't let go until he's almost in the ground, and that creates that 40-yard touchdown rush. Another clip here. This is another one of his pass set. He does a good job of identifying the stunt and being able to see it and pick it up. So this guy's going to go inside. Once he sees him go inside, obviously one guy leaves your gap, another guy's coming around, like I've been saying on these stunts. So he sees this guy leave, he passes him off to the center, and he's able to pick up the other guy looping around, and he's able to pick up that defensive tackle. And another key thing too, a lot of times he does give up a little bit of ground here, but he doesn't give up too much ground. A lot of these guys, whenever they're going for stunts, they keep backing up while they're waiting. He doesn't really do that. He doesn't give up too much ground here. He stays with them. He kind of gets pushed back into the pocket a little bit, so he does need to anchor down a little bit more. But he does do a good job of being able to pick that up, keep his hands on him, and doesn't give up too much room too fast. And I believe this is the last one. This is a nice goal line play. You're on the 1 yard line. It's 2nd and goal. You need to punch it in. Alabama has a run heavy formation in here. So what's going to happen is Tyler Booker's down here. All these guys are going to down block all these defenders on his inside. So the tight end 87 is going to down block here. Tackle's going to down block here. The center is actually going to down block on this guy. And Booker is actually free. And this is what I'm talking about with playing his angle. Booker's going to fly off the ball right here and go for this middle linebacker and get there and get his hands on him. And then these two guys are going to come pull around pretty much. He's going to go for the end, the kick out, and then he's going to lead up and try to get to this play side linebacker. Obviously, the safety's untouched because if a safety comes down and stuffs you on the one with your running back, then either that running back needs to be benched or it's a hell of a play by the safety. But you're gonna see here, he climbs up right here and he's able to get that guy out of the way. And him being able to get that guy out of the way ends up getting him in the end zone because that running back keeps pushing to the 2nd level. And if he doesn't block this linebacker is gonna be another guy that's gonna stuff him, and they're not gonna get in the end zone here. So like I said, he's gonna block down. He's blocking down here. The center's gonna kind of seal him off with Booker punching him, giving him a punch, and then climbing right now. He's going to go pull. He's going to go lead up on this play side linebacker, and then we're pretty much in there. And it's the 2nd level effort with him being able to stay on this linebacker and push him straight out, and the running back being able to not stop in his feet. So once that center's able to pretty much take him down, he's on him right now and has him sealed off, taking him all the way around. Now, if he doesn't take him all the way around, that linebacker's right here and doesn't allow him to be able to reach that point because then it's the safety and that linebacker right here. But Booker takes him all the way around, just runs him out where he wants to go, and that running back's able to get on there in the 2nd level, or in the second chance pressure that he has. So my conclusion, I'm gonna give him an A-. Like I said, he's either the 2nd or 1st best offensive lineman in my opinion in this class. I know guard's a little bit devalued, so you don't usually take guards super high unless there's somebody like a Quentin Nelson that's generational. A lot of people have him either going to the Dolphins or to the Seahawks in the middle of the 1st round. But in my opinion, I think he's going to be a very good guard. He has a very high floor, so no matter what, he's going to be a very solid starter, even if he doesn't work out to his fullest potential. He's going to be a great starter, and he's going to be a multiple-time Pro Bowler, in my opinion, even though they pretty much just give that out to anybody. He's going to be drafted between 10 to 20. I do think his best fit would be the Bears, but I just don't know if the Bears are going to take interior or they're just going to sign him in free agency and go with a running back like a Genty. But I do think he's going to go in the early 1st round, and he deserves to go from that 10 to 15 range to maybe the Dolphins or somebody like that. But I think he's going to fall a little bit because he's more of a guard, and people are going to be looking for flexibility with like somebody like Armand Membu that's pretty similar to him, and he might go in that later to like the Seahawks at like 18. So, but very high floor player, one of my favorites in this class, either 1 or 2 offensive linemen. But please make sure to like the video. Comment down below anything you agreed or disagreed with that I talked about so we can have a good, fun discussion in the comments. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for future NFL content. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple-double.